Dr. J here. Today we are going over how to overcome anemia naturally, okay? And so I have patients come to my clinic all the time, and in their history we learn that they're tired and fatigued. They even can look a little pale. Their hair's fallen out, or they have brittle nails, and they have tension. Sometimes they have dizziness, sometimes they have excess pain, especially in the hips and the low back. And over the years, because of that, we'll pull blood work on them. And we treat them and they feel better. But one of the things that what I'm discovering is that it's pretty much becoming more common that we have an iron deficiency, or that we're experiencing anemia from another cause, not because we're low in iron. All in all, though, anemia is the lack of oxygen and hemoglobin on a red blood cell, and you need oxygen to live. Okay, so how are we going to overcome it? Okay, so the first step to overcome it is nourishing your spleen. So the spleen is the organ that helps produce red blood cells. Okay, and so if it isn't healthy, then it makes sense that anemia would show up, because the red blood cell carries that beautiful oxygen all through your tissue. And the spleen's also responsible for pulling your fluids together and moving them through the system. So anyway, how would we nourish a spleen? Who ever heard of such a thing? Well, you would do it through foods, okay? And so the first food group I eat regularly, because I've had a history of anemia, is the squashes. And so it would be like butternut squash, acorn squash, spaghetti squash, pumpkin. Okay, 1 to 2 servings a day for that. That would be so good. They're the fall harvest colors of vegetables. That's where you want to go. They're the warming, nurturing to the spleen vegetable. Another one is the dark green leafy vegetables. Okay, that would mean that's like spinach, chard, kale, dandelion greens, that kind of thing. Also, bitter, which I love, bitter vegetables. So that would be romaine, arugula, endive, and yeah, and sometimes those bitter foods, I don't get them every day. So one of the things that I do is I bought an elixir. It's a liquid, okay? And this elixir, I'll put it in the link below. I have about 20 milliliters each day before dinner, mostly dinner. I try to do it twice a day, but at least at dinner time. So you can also substitute it when you're not getting what you need. Although there's nothing better than the real vegetable, of course. And so that's why I have that at least once a day, okay? Okay, the second step would be to have a probiotic, okay? And so get a probiotic in your diet. Now the probiotic helps the gut, your gut health, okay? And one of the things that we don't realize is that you could potentially have leaky gut. Anybody with intestinal issues at all, and they're not taking a probiotic or not enough of a probiotic, they are going to experience the loss of nutrients, because you cannot assimilate nutrients properly. There was a study out of Stanford quite a few years ago, maybe 4, and they found that probiotics increase the assimilation and absorption of B vitamins, along with iron, zinc, and magnesium. That's interesting. Okay, so you need to be taking a probiotic. You can also get your probiotics from probiotic-rich foods, okay? Which you can check out one of my videos on. You can check out a video on leaky gut, as well as probiotic-rich foods. Go check it out. You will be happy you did. And then add that. So it's like kefir, whole milk kefir. Goat milk preferably. If you have a problem with dairy, then obviously that wouldn't be it. But then there's cabbage, which is like sauerkraut, and kimchi. Anyway, go check it out. You will learn a little bit more about what foods are good for you. Miso soup, for just fermented soy. The probiotic that you're going to take, you need to take 50 to 100 billion international units a day, divided doses. So some people take 5 billion in one capsule, 10 billion in another, 15, 50, 30, whatever. You have to total out 100 to 100, okay? And then, so it might be in divided doses. So that means take it morning, noon, and night if you can, because then it's flourishing throughout the day, if that makes sense to you. And then you want to add water or fiber accordingly, because if all of a sudden you have diarrhea or constipation, then you have to play around with it till you get the peace coming to your belly, okay, because that's real important. But this will nourish your gut health. All right, it's first line of defense. Okay, so then step three is eliminating starches and sugars, okay, junk sugars. All right, so the average person is consuming 150 pounds of sugar a year. That's a half a pound a day. All right, so if that's how much you're taking in, then it's a toxin to the body. So if you're taking it in simple sugars, pastas, grains, all your starches, quinoa, rice, you know, I'm not saying that it's forever, but you got to get it under control, okay? Because it breeds toxicity. It also breeds for candida. And if you have candida, your sugars are all off the charts, and you have candida, then guess what? That blocks iron absorption across the board, okay? So it's not going to get in there. So you can take all the iron in the world, but if you're not taking it with vitamin C and, and you're sucking down that sugar, then, you know, well, you get the picture. So control your processed sugar foods, all right? And then step number 4 would be to eat iron-rich foods. So what do they look like? So an iron-rich food would be liver. Okay, liver is full of iron. Now, I do not like iron. I do not like liver. My dad used to love liver and onions. Oh my God, help me Jesus, I could never. But what I have done is taken liver and made a vegetable soup. Specifically chicken noodle soup. So I'll take a chicken liver, of course it's grass-fed, right? Grass-fed organic chickens, free range, right? Anyway, so I take the liver and I put in 1/3 liver, 2/3 chicken meat. And then, you know, I simmer it in a crock pot, pour in the water, or not water, bone broth and water. And then I add celery and carrots and onions and salt and garlic and whatever else, whatever other herbs you want, because jazz up your herbs. I love rosemary, thyme, and sage when it comes to chicken and turkey, so I'll throw that in, but you get the picture. So liver can be your friend if you just present it properly. And nobody ever knows, by the way, when I do that, because it's quiet on the set, okay? And then in addition to the liver, then it's grass-fed red meat, okay? So grass-fed cows, bison, lamb, okay? I love a good bison burger. Delicious. And then I have it protein style, and then I do, which is on leaves, green leafy vegetables, specifically romaine with some cilantro. I love a good cilantro burger. And then I have like a little tiny spinach salad on the side. So that is the foods, of course, and then your green leafy vegetables also, which we talked about before, chard, spinach, kale. It's the same thing. They're loaded with good iron, okay? And then last but not least, of course, is step number 5, which is lifestyle and stress management, and how you're dealing with your schedule and how busy you are and where's your stress. Is it going like this with no way out, okay? And so if you struggle with unforgiveness, if you have anger issues and you're bitter and you're just having chronic worry and you're in anxiety off and on all the time, it's time to get some peace and flip out of fight or flight into rest, okay, and peace. And one of the ways you can do that is through deep breathing. You can watch one of my videos on deep breathing. It's so good for you. It immediately shifts you into parasympathetic, where you're resting. you should, we're so busy and we schedule all the things we have to do, but schedule in relaxation and fun. Schedule it in. Dear Lord, you need to laugh more, even at ourselves, I've taught that it's so good to just laugh, okay? So we have a life and we have to sometimes just laugh about it. And I'm just going to release peace to you and an awakening to quiet down your stress. Don't forget to sleep and get a good night's sleep, okay? And just release all that stuff with a good deep breathing right before you fall asleep. It'll flip the system and you'll get more relaxed and fall into a deeper, longer sleep, all right? So those are the 5 steps, okay? So 5 steps to overcoming anemia naturally. Change, you have the power to change. It's right in your beautiful hands, okay? And bonus is in Chinese medicine. They have beautiful adaptogenic herbs that they use to help overcome stress and nourish that spleen, and one of them is ginseng. So bonus, ginseng helps anemia and also it manages your stress too. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, and then the mighty beet is another one. Great, even in a powdered form. If you don't like the taste, powdered beets is good too. So that's it. So what patients do is they come in, we end up helping them, and it's because we did a very thorough exam and moved into the more of health. And so we got baseline studies of their blood work, which gave them the revelation that they were anemic. And so what do we do about that? And here you are. So if this helps, wonderful, okay? So thank you, as always, for allowing me to help you take your next step together towards health. Bless you. Enjoy your day. Don't forget to share and click on the subscribe button and the bell to get reminders every week. Bless you and have a great day.